Hello and welcome to this edition of the Grow With Moin Podcast. I hope you guys are doing amazingly well today. Today, I want to talk to you about forgiveness and gratitude. And it may sound like spiritual woo-woo stuff, but I'm going to get into some science behind it and why some of the leaders today, like Gary Vaynerchuk, are really pushing it on their social media as something that helps them fill their cup in a way or help them be better performers. So forgiveness and gratitude is something that I practice, daily. More gratitude than forgiveness. I'm not there on the forgiveness part yet, but I do practice it from time to time. Gratitude is something that I do daily, and it's something that really helps me fill my cup. I feel like when I am thankful for things at the end and in the beginning of my day, especially when it's been a hard day, it really brings down the stress. It really brings down the anxiety, and it makes me really feel good about my life. You know, counting the small wins and being grateful for what you have rather than worrying about what you don't. And so that practice I've been doing for almost a year and a half now, and I journal it every night and think about things that I'm grateful for every morning. So it's a very, very powerful practice, especially if you're someone who's in a place that they're not completely happy with where they are. A gratitude practice definitely helps. And I know it sounds like something, Buddhists or monks or spiritual teachers would say. But if you follow people like Vishen Lakhiani, Dave Asprey, Ben Greenfield, even Tony Robbins, Gary Vaynerchuk, they're all pushing this. And it's not because it's something so mystical. It's very hands-on. It's when you actually get into it, you will start to feel what I'm talking about right away. And forgiveness is also something that we need to practice, and I'll get into the science behind it in a bit, but I want to elaborate a bit on forgiveness. And it's not that when you forgive someone who's done you wrong that you're saying that, I forgive you and this behavior is welcome in the future. It's not that. It's just that when you're forgiving someone, you're letting go of the anger and the hate that you're holding towards them. And you're basically storing that energy within you. And what's the point of it? You're thinking that by being angry at this person, by holding this grudge, this anger, this hate for them, it will hurt them in some way. But in reality, it's really just hurting you because you're holding that heavy emotion within you. And forgiveness is not about the other person. It's not as enlightening as you may think, even though it has enlightening qualities to it. But forgiveness is not for the other person. It's mostly for you to let go of that anger, for you to let go of that heavy energy that you're holding that's weighing you down. And it doesn't have to be in person. This is an energetic practice that you think about someone that you're holding anger towards, and you forgive them from within you. And I know some people want to do it with intimate relationships and, parents and partners, but it's not necessary for you to do that face to face. You can do that just by yourself, and you will feel lighter if you really, truly let go. And there's some wonderful forgiveness meditations out there that you can practice. And so, one, forgiveness is for you. It's not for the other person. It's for you to move on. It's for you to let go of the hurt and the pain. And it doesn't mean that you're allowing behaviors that have hurt you by other people in the past to continue. No, it's not that. It's that you're letting go of the heaviness and you're taking the lesson from that experience and you're moving on, but not forgetting, right? Because you're learning the lesson. That means you're keeping it, but you're letting go of the pain. and anger towards the other person. If there's something that you really want to do and you don't have a conversation about it with someone who's actually done it, it's going to be a very difficult path. And that's something that I've learned through my experiences, of writing a best-selling book, of starting and failing at a business, of starting this podcast and learning how to interview and be interviewed on other podcasts. And so I want to tell you that I had help. I had a lot of help to get to where I am today. And I want to offer that back to you. Everything that I've learned through my experiences, hundreds of hours of personal development, and having something in mind and actually going out and doing it, I want to offer that back to you. So if there's something that you really want to do and you think I can help you out with that, reach out to me and book this 30-minute call. It's absolutely free. There's no commitment, and I'm not going to sell you anything here. All I'm doing is seeing if there's any way I can add as much value to your life as I can. So if you're interested in that, click that link and let's start talking about your dreams. So I came across this really cool forgiveness study, and I was reading about it in Dave Asprey's book called Game Changers, and Vishen Lakhiani talks about it in his book, The Code of the Extraordinary Mind, right? So they did this program, which was, I think, run by Dave Asprey. It was called 40 Years of Zen, and it was held in Canada, in British Columbia. And he invited a couple of very successful people to come. One of them was a billionaire who just sold his company, JJ Virgin, and like a top medical doctor in the world. So they were all there. And 40 Years of Zen is a company who've accumulated data by applying EEG to the brains of, very successful people, billionaires, mystics, monks, Buddhists. So all these people, and they've gathered data and they've found out what are the brainwave states that they are in that help them to be at that level of performance or at that level of happiness with their lives. And so they had all this data, and they wanted to help these people who were there for the program to get there faster. So they measured the alpha brainwave states, the theta, and the delta. So alpha, according to the program, is more correlated with creativity, with compassion, with insight, with forgiveness, with love. Theta is more creativity and intuition, and delta is what they described as delta state is what you get into when you're literally bending reality, right? And so these people were there, and they were what's different about this program as compared to other meditation was that you were getting direct biofeedback, meaning that when you were meditating with the methods that they were telling you, you had EEGs attached to your brain and you would see a spike. And if the spike is higher, it's a good thing. That means you're moving into an alpha or a theta or a delta, right? And so you get immediate biofeedback as to what's working within the meditation. And these people had years of data from successful people and mystics knowing exactly what works. And so what the scientists in the program for 40 Years of Zen told these people to do while they were there with the EEGs attached was that practice on forgiveness. Yeah, they told them the fastest way for them to hack these brainwave states was to forgive people in their lives. I mean, that means like things you hold on to, like from high school. I remember I'm still mad at a high school teacher and past relationships, things when you're down as a kid, and even very small things like, someone looks nasty at you while crossing you on the highway and you're like, oh, this guy, I'm going to hold some hate against this guy. So even the small things, so they were told to let everything go. And while they were doing that, because they had biofeedback, they noticed that whenever they did forgive people, their alpha brainwaves, they spiked. That means they were getting into the states that they would need to solve problems better, to be more creative, to, make better executive decisions. So forgiveness was the key, according to this program, 40 Years of Zen. And I just want to bring that to your attention because a lot of people who do talk about it on social media don't really get into the science behind it that we have available to us now. And so if you think this is just something that woo-woo and you can't forgive and all that stuff, there is actual benefits to it. We have neurofeedback. That's the fun part about being in, today's world, that you can actually measure these things. And so if there's one thing you're going to take away, start practicing forgiveness in your life. It will help you, and it's not for the other person. That and a gratitude practice every day, and you're well on your way, man. And that's something that Gary Vee won't tell you. I mean, I think what he does is more of an intuitive practice, something that he's just started doing and felt good and he continued doing it. He may know the science behind it, he may not, but he hasn't talked about it, up to my knowledge. And so I wanted to share this with you. Hopefully you guys learned something new and can start a new practice that's going to help you get into these alpha and theta brainwave states to help with your business, with whatever it is that you're working on. As always, everyone, have a great rest of your week. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Feel free to leave me any feedback, comments, subscribe, all that stuff. And I'll speak to you guys next week.